Hello, and welcome back to my channel. You're watching Vidazra's Creations. I'm Danita Simpson, and I'm the chief designer here. Now, last week, I introduced myself and I gave you your first lesson. What did we learn? How to do a chain stitch. So we're going to pick up from where we left off. So this is my thread from the last time, and that was my first chain. So let's start over. Just to recap. Do you remember how to do a chain? Let me show you. So again, the thread between your index finger and your thumb, laid over, right? Secure it with your middle finger, get your needle, go in, right? And do a 360-degree turn, and then pull up the thread through the loop, right? And that's how you get your first chain. So what do we do from here? We're going to continue making more chains, but since we're not starting, instead of doing that 360 again, all we're going to do is remaining with the thread in your position right there. All we're doing is going underneath from the left, pulling through a loop through this loop. So pulling through a thread rather through the loop. All right, excuse me. So again, we have our thread secure. We kind of have it feeded through our fingers. We're pulling the needle, pushing the needle underneath, pulling a thread through the loop. And that's how we create chains. And we just keep doing that. So continue doing that. And every time you do it, let's pull back the end of the chain and keep it flat so that it's not twisting. That is how you get your pieces that you create to be symmetry or neat or just, precise. So we just keep feeding it back, pull under through the loop, push under, pull the thread through the loop, under, pull the thread through the loop, pull back the thread. And we're going to do a few of these chains until you're comfortable. If you are following along with me while you're watching, then you'll be able to get to the same finish as I do. So right now, and we're not doing any counts. If we're going to make a garment, we would want to be deliberate in how many we're doing, whether we're using inches or whether we're using the amount of chains. If you're reading the book, and that's a whole nother lesson of how to read the crochet book, I'm just kind of freelancing for you so you can follow along and do like hands-free. Just like learning to play the piano, there are some people who play by ear, and there are others who play by reading music. I'm the latter, and I don't know how to read, really intricate musical pieces, but I do know how to recognize notes. Now, in crochet, I can recognize reading the books, but I've become a freelancer. And so for you that I'm teaching, you may not be learning by the book, you may just be freelancing. So we've done, let's just say about 20 chains, right? I'll do the final one for you, pushing the needle under, pulling the thread up through the loop. Now, once you've done that, the next important stitch that you're going to want to learn is the single crochet. With a single crochet, you can actually make a garment, because if you just kept making chains, all you're going to have is a long string. And what's the point of that? So what you need to do is to learn how to build on that string so that you can make blankets, you can make scarves, at least to begin with. If you know these two stitches, then you'll be able to create the chain stitch and the single crochet. So let's see, how do we do the single crochet? Once you've finished your last chain, what you're going to do is you're going to have your needle put the hook, and it's like you're going backwards. So you're going to go back into the last chain that you did. You're not going it from the bottom, you're kind of going in the middle, in the belly of the chain, or just say you're picking up the top of the chain. So you pick up the top of that chain, you pull through the thread through the middle of that chain or the top, and then you'll have two loop looking. Now you're going to pull a thread through those two loops, and then you'll have this loop. Then you're going to go back to the chain that's behind that, and then you're going to the belly, bring through a thread, you'll have two loops, you're going to pull through the thread through those 2 loops. And that is how you have the single crochet. Do I need to come closer? Let's see. So right in here, I call the belly. You put the hook there. You're going to pull up a thread through here. You'll have 2 of these loops. You're going to pull the thread through both loops, and that's how you have your single crochet. With that basic stitch, you can keep doing that. When you go down to the bottom, and I'll show you, then you just reverse and you do it again. And you keep reversing and doing it again until you completely form a pattern, and then you can do a scarf, like I said, or a blanket. So let's continue to do that. And each time I do that, I'm pulling the end of this away from the entire piece so that it doesn't get boggled up, okay? Again, pulling through the belly, pulling up the thread through 2 loops. There you have it. I'll continue doing that, and then we can get to showing you how to turn. So I'm speeding up a little bit in the interest of time, but you can keep watching. In the belly, through, pull through 2, in the belly, under, pull through the thread through the 2, in the belly. All right, and we keep going. And this is what we have so far. I like to continually stretch my garment so that it doesn't have a weird curve, because I want this piece to be straight or flat, right? Continue, let's go. And you can see how relaxed my fingers are, because if you're very stiff, your piece is going to be stiff, and you want it to have movement. You don't want it to have friction. If it gets too tight, it's going to be squeezed up in certain areas, so it won't get a full finish. Now I'm reaching to the bottom or the end of my chains. This is an important step. Once I pull it through that last chain, and I always try to conceal my pieces. Usually I don't have such a long piece here, but let's say we do. I am going to pull this thread behind it, and so when I am picking up that final piece, it kind of conceals it, and so I have it through here. Then I'm gonna flip the fabric over, and then we're going to do 1 chain. Did we see that? Let's do that again. So we're coming to the end of our chain, and we want to turn. Okay, we push the needle inside the belly or the top of the last chain. We pull a thread up, we push this end of piece here over, right, so it gets concealed, and then we pull through a thread to create our final single crochet. Then we flip this piece over so that the end is now the beginning. Now we're going to keep this thread kind of in the middle, so every time we do a chain stitch, we're interweaving it into it, right? So then we're going to go back again, go on the top of the chain, pull through a thread. We have 2 loops, as we noticed, and we're pulling through the thread and creating a single crochet. We're going to keep doing that, keeping this long thread here so that it's interweaved. So we push the needle in, pull the thread up, keep that in the center, pull the thread through there. And we're just going to keep doing that, creating more single crochet, and then you'll see our garment is growing. Keep doing that until we are through. And I think I want you to go ahead and practice the single crochet and the chain stitch until next time we learn how to do a double crochet. I think once we do a double crochet, we can actually move on to making a piece, because we can absolutely make a scarf just using these 2 stitches. So here we have it. I'm just finishing this, and then we'll wrap up today's video. Please comment down below if you've been enjoying these series, what you'd like to learn. Did you learn anything? Was I going too fast? You know, all comments are welcome, and I'll be happy to slow it down, repeat a lesson until you get it, because I want you to learn. This is such a creative way of designing your own pieces, especially in a world where fashion is, you know, truly something. Everybody loves fashion, and to be able to create your own piece of fashion is absolutely amazing. So there we have it. We have created some chains and added single crochet, and in continuing to do this,
So I was gonna say that we can continue to make beautiful pieces, but my audio cut out. So thanks as always for watching, and until next time, stay blessed, okay? Bye.